Israeli warplanes have carried out overnight airstrikes on Gaza, the first since Israel and the Islamic militant Hamas agreed to a truce back in November.
Israel says Palestinian militants have fired more rockets into its territory from Gaza and is warning it won't let such attacks become routine. Both parties had been observing an Egyptian-mediated truce since last year's fighting.
Palestinians are angry about an inmate who died of cancer in an Israeli prison. The man was serving a life sentence for conspiring to bomb an Israeli cafe. Palestinians view prisoners as heroes in the fight for statehood.
It certainly is a significant development. As you mentioned, it's the very first Israeli strikes. They targeted two sites, empty areas, I'm told by Palestinian sources, in northern Gaza. It's the very first one, as you mentioned, since that truce that was signed between Israel and Hamas back in November of 2012, last year, after that Operation Pillar of Defense, that violent and somewhat bloody confrontation between these two parties. In its statement, the Israeli army says that it will do everything it has to do in order to prevent factions and holding Hamas responsible for any terror emanating from the Gaza Strip, so in order to prevent them from deteriorating the lives of Israelis in the south of the country. This is according to Israeli military sources, the third instance of rockets being shot from Gaza onto Israel since the end of that Operation Pillar of Defense last year in November.
Now, we've also had the death, as I mentioned, of the Palestinian prisoner. Is there any relationship between the two stories, do you think?
Well, according to the statement that was sent by a Salafist group that is operating inside the Gaza and that has claimed responsibility for that Qassam, again shot yesterday, Tuesday, from Gaza onto Israeli territory, they mentioned the name of that Palestinian inmate who died while in detention in Israel. So there certainly is a relationship there. Remember that the issue of Palestinian prisoners is a very sensitive one for Palestinians. More than 4,000 of them detained in Israeli facilities, and this is the second death this year of a Palestinian inmate while in detention in Israel. And last time it sparked significant unrest and rioting across the West Bank, and these are scenes that we could be seeing being played out again in the West Bank this afternoon, and perhaps Hebron as well, where this Palestinian inmate was originally from.